Hello everyone and welcome back to another TSW2 video. Today we are on the Hauptstrecke Munich to Augsburg route and we're going to be running the S-Bahn Shutdown Scenario where we take a BR423 along the last leg of its trip to Munich Hauptbahnhof. Before we get into the video, I'm going to ask all of you to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you would like to support me even further, consider becoming a channel member by clicking the blue join button, which you can find right next to that red subscribe button, or by clicking the link in the description below. Let's get into the video. Alright, we're loading up the S-Bahn Shutdown Scenario right now. Haven't driven the 423 in a while, actually, so I might be a little rusty. Let's get the train set up, though. Welcome to Donnersberger Brook. You have just taken over from another driver. The next stop is Munich Hackerbrook. Complete loading when ready. Alright, let's get everything set up. I always forget whenever I start like a scenario or whatever to fix my settings. I really wish it stayed the way you set it last time, but I like to turn the crosshair to the large one that you can see in the middle of the screen, and I like to turn off motion blur so the game looks just that little bit better. Actually, I'm about to close that window because we're going to turn the AC on. Turn CIFA, PZB, and LZB on. Let's see. Let's make sure our destination board is good. It is not. If we're terminating at Munich, I believe we are the S4 service. S4 to Munich. Yeah, it should be Munich. No, we're going to Munich Hauptbahnhof. Let's just set it to Munich Ostbahnhof. We'll make the announcement for the passengers. Alright, let's get started. Next stop is Munich Hackerbrook. Yeah, I really haven't driven this in a while. I do apologize in advance. I did not hook up my external keyboard today, so whenever I acknowledge the CIFA, you will hear the PZB go off like that. So I do apologize in advance. But here we are coming up to Munich Hackerbrook. We're actually only 2 stations away from Munich, the normal terminus of the S4, Munich Ostbahnhof. It would be the station after Munich Hackerbrook. You go into the city tunnel. Unfortunately, the tunnel wasn't modeled in the game. I'm not sure why they didn't model it, because it would have been nice to have that extra station. They could have had some services terminating there. Let's come to a gentle stop. We will be stopping, I believe, before the end of the platform. Now ZB is bringing us to a nice, smooth stop. Should be right after this pole right here. There we go. And we have a red signal in front of us. This is a nice picture, yeah. Let's get this screenshot. This is definitely a route I plan to make an unfinished routes or unfinished add-ons video on. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to name the series. I think I'm going to name it Unfinished Add-ons, but I started to think Unfinished Routes would be a better name for it since I'm only going to be doing routes. It seems there's a fault causing a door to remain open. You need to inspect the door and possibly close it locally. Alright, let's go check this door out. Kind of wish there was more of this in the regular game, you know, just in service mode, the door doesn't shut correctly, you know, delaying your train. Also wish these displays work. Would have been nice to see your route number and all of that on it. Oh, here we go. The broken door. Well done, the door has been closed. Unfortunately, it remains unclear whether the issue itself has been solved or that it could occur again. Okay. Okay. Continue. Because of the fault, the train set will be taken out of service. Return to the cab and take this train to Munich passing. Oh, okay. Well, let's shut down this cab. Gonna turn the tail lights on. Let's get the passenger lights off. Oh yeah, we're supposed to let the passengers off. That makes sense. Alright, let's turn the train to not in service. Which I believe is Liechtenstein. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. Let's set the reverser to off. Remove the master key. Thank you. I'm gonna keep all of that on. Let's turn the AC off. We'll turn it back on at the other end. But this is definitely a route that I was gonna make a unfinished add-ons video on. Mainly because I feel like more could have been done with the S-Bahn services on this route, you know. It only features the S3 and S4 lines, where in reality it has the S1, S20, S2, S6, S7, S8, you know, all of those lines running along it. And it could add a whole bunch more services to this already, you know, pretty busy route. Alright, let's hop in the cab. Get the master key in. Set all of that up, turn the AC back on. And let's get our trusty safety systems on. I'm gonna start locking the doors now. So we already have that set up. Oh, high beam, okay. And we're going to Munich passing PDF. Now I have actually played the scenario before. It was a while ago, earlier in the year in fact. So I don't remember exactly anything about this scenario. I just decided, you know, it would be nice to run this scenario on this route. I wanted to run the scenario where you have to run a 423 from Augsburg. However, that scenario honestly would have taken too much time, and I just wasn't feeling that. So we are running the S-Bahn Shutdown Scenario today. I really enjoy operating trains along this route. It's a really nice route, you know. Really love the 423, the sounds of the train, you know. It was done really great. I'm glad Train Sim Germany helped out with this route, you know, all the sound recordings and stuff like that, because it really shows how much work was put into it. And it's cool that they added in a scenario where, you know, there's a fault on the train and you have to deadhead back to the depot. Although I'm sure that in real life they wouldn't have taken the whole train out of service, you know, just for a door issue. I'm sure they would have just like shut off the interlock on that door or whatever, and, you know, just kept the train in service. But it is cool that they included one of these types of scenarios. You know, it's nice to see little things, just, well, obviously not in real life, but in the game it's nice to see just little things turn into huge, you know, involving scenarios. And I kind of wish that happened in service mode, you know. Dynamic events is definitely a thing that could come to the game. Nice number of passengers here. Pretty cool. Surprised we haven't seen any ICE traffic yet. It's a bit disappointing that there's no regional services, you know, just on the route from the start, or at least on last gen consoles, you know, in service mode. It really makes the route feel kind of empty, like right now. So LZB is probably going off in a bit. I believe this is the LZB end zone up here. There we go. And now we're just running on regular PZB and Tifa. So this is the one route that kind of taught me how to operate trains with PZB and LZB, you know? And it's just operating the S-Bahn services back and forth the whole time that really like got me into understanding the PZB system and understanding what the signals mean and all of that, understanding when to acknowledge PZB, what certain types of signals mean, what certain types of speed limits do, you know, stuff like that. But this is the route that kind of like taught me all about German signaling and stuff. You know, I did watch PTG Rail's video on German signaling and stuff, and I applied it to this route, and I started really learning how to do everything correctly, you know. But on other routes in the game, like Riesa to Dresden, or what's another good example? Hauptstrecke Rhein-Ruhr is another good example, you know. Those are two routes with very difficult signals, especially Riesa to Dresden, with they have a different type of signal to the usual signals you would see on the other routes in the game. So it's difficult to understand that system. But on Hauptstrecke Rhein-Ruhr, you know, sometimes you'll just get like 3 trains ahead of you that's blocking your pathing or whatever, and you have to acknowledge a whole bunch of signals and stuff, and if you miss one, PZB is definitely going to trip you up. So right now we're running on a 1000 hertz. I don't know what to call it. Just we're running on 1000 hertz from PZB right now. But we do have a flashing 85, which means we do have to operate at under 80 kilometers per hour. But I've reduced my speed all the way down to below 60. Number one, because of the speed limit coming up, and number two, I believe after that 1000 hertz, I feel like there's gonna be a 500 hertz somewhere. You know, I just have that strange feeling. I always keep my eye out for that when passing a 1000 hertz signal. And we just went through Munich pacing or passing, however you would like to pronounce it. You know, I pronounce it as passing. IC is about to pass. There we go. I knew I heard it in my right ear. But however you would like to pronounce it, I pronounce it as passing. Just that's what it looks like to me. But I've heard some people pronounce it as pacing before, so I guess whichever way you want to pronounce it, you can. There we go. So we have the 500 hertz reading from PZB right now, which essentially means under 25 kilometers per hour. I am keeping my speed at around 20 kilometers per hour, and the reason for that is in real life, the operators do the same thing, because sometimes your speedometer may read incorrectly, and it may read that you're doing 23 kilometers per hour when you're actually doing 25. And PZB is incredibly accurate, you know. If you're like operating at exactly 25 miles per or kilometers per hour, it will trip you up. So that's definitely a thing to keep an eye out for. I believe we're in a dead zone now. It's probably the reason why the AC went off. Let's just turn that off and lower our speed a bit more. I really do love the traction motors on this unit. Sounds so good. It reminds me of my own city, New York. It reminds me of our R142As. You know, just the screeching sound of them taking off, you know. And let's get the windows open for the last little leg. So we can hear that nice low track noise. And here we are pulling into the depot here. You can see some 423s and some ICEs in here. I really do wish that they included the BR406 along this route, but I believe the 406 only runs on international journeys. So like running across the border into maybe Austria, or I'm not sure if they run into Italy actually. I know Renfe has their own type of version of the whatever, I think it's the Siemens Velaro or something like that. But I know they have their own version of the ICE. But yeah, I do know that the 406s run on like international trips and stuff like that, while the 403s is kind of like all in the country, intercity and stuff like that. Game wants us to stop just up here. I believe that will be the end for this scenario. Oh, they want us to turn the parking brake on. I don't know where to look for that, honestly. I assume it's up here. Yep. Alright, let's turn off the headlights. Turn this off. Oh, lower the pantograph. Okay, may I ask, where do we do that? Right here, there we go. Lower. Remove the reverser. Remove the reverser. What do you mean remove the reverser? What? Okay, that was confusing. Disembark from the train. That should be it for today. Oh, I did keep the passenger lights on. Yeah, it'll stay on just like these passengers. Unbelievable. Yeah, let's get off the train. So that will be it for this scenario. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it. If you did, hit the like button and the subscribe button if you haven't already. And consider becoming a channel member with the link in the description below. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.